Good day, students. So on this clip, we're going to be going over some examples on graphing linear inequalities. So let's go ahead and consider some key factors. So we need to go over what each inequality means first, and then we'll go ahead and look at some examples. All right. So what does each inequality mean? We have less than, or less than or equal to. We have greater than, or greater than, or equal to. Now, what does less than or less than or equal to mean when you're shading? All right, I'm going to split this down the center. Now you see when you're on the, if you're dealing with less than or equal to, uh, let me just write down the names here. So this is less than, and then this is less or equal, okay? And then this is greater than, this is greater or equal. Okay, so when you're shading, what does less than or less than or equal to mean? They basically mean that you are going to shade down. You're going to shade down, all right? If you have greater than or equal to, what does that mean? It means you're going to shade up, all right? So think about this in the context of a roof, okay? The roof of a building. If this is the roof of a building, all right? And this building, this is a building that snakes live in. Okay, this is a building for snakes. All right, so if you have a building like this, this is a roof. All right, if you're less than, basically means you're under the roof. This area right here is less than, less or less than or equal to. All right, so under the roof right here, this is where you shade for less than. All right, and then for let me use a different color. Let me use blue. So less than or equal to, you basically all right, so basically less than down here basically means that you're going to be shading the bottom of the roof, okay? And then greater than or equal to basically means you're shading the top of the roof, okay? So don't forget, less than is under the roof, which means that's what shade down is, and then greater than is you shade the top of the roof, all right? That's or a roof could have this configuration though. It could be in this direction too. Alright, so if this were a roof also, less than is the area that gets protected from the rain. So less than or equal to is shading down here. Go down. Greater than or greater than or equal to, you're basically shading up. Alright? So that's how it works. So keep that in mind, all right? So there goes a roof analogy just to help you understand where to shade. Um, and there is also another component, another thing to look at. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to note is that just in case you forget which is less than, an easy way to remember it is that less is just like L, okay? That inequality symbol is just like L. So less than is one that's more or less like the L, okay? And then greater than is the other one. All right, keep that in mind. All right, so now, what does this line under the inequality mean? All right, let's create another area for my matrix, and then we're going to state what each line means, okay? So if you do not have a line under your inequality, that means that the line is going to be broken. That means that that line is not part of the solution set. That's why you have to break it. Okay, so any point on that line will not satisfy the inequality. But if you have a line under the inequality, greater than or less, the line is solid. That means any point on that line satisfies the inequality, whatever it is. Okay, so remember, line means solid, means inclusion. No line means broken or exclusion. All right. So let's apply this. Let's see if we can apply this to some problems on graphing. Okay, so graph the following. Graph the following uh, linear inequalities. Linear inequalities. All right, so number one, we're going to graph y is less than 3x plus 5. All right, let's go ahead and grab this. So to grab this, this is in slope-intercept form. So all we need is to find m and b. You remember your slope-intercept form equation, which is y equals mx plus b. The coefficient of x is your slope. So our m, the slope, which equals m, is 3 over 1. The reason I'm writing the slope as a fraction is because I want to know my rise and I want to know my run, okay? Because remember, slope is rise over run, all right? So there goes your slope, and then your y-intercept b is going to be 5. Okay, that's where you're going to start on your y. So what does less than mean? Less than basically means the line is going to be broken, and you're going to shade down. All right, why is it broken? There's no line under there. Why is it shading down? Because it's less than. We already talked about it here. All right, let's go ahead and draw this graph. My y coordinate and my x coordinate down here because we're going to be going a little bit high. So starting from 5, or let me look on my axis first. So this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. So starting from 5 on the y, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, this is my y-intercept, okay? Y-intercept, that's where you start on the y. I need another point to define my line. So I'm going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and run 1. Okay, because that's what my slope says. Slope says go up 3 units and then run 1. So there goes my slope triangle right there. So I'm going to draw a broken line. Okay, a broken line. Why is my line broken? Because you do not have a line under your inequality, which means that any point on the line does not satisfy the inequality, alright? So we have to have a broken line. Now where do we shade? Imagine this is my roof. Where will the rain fall on the top, right? This is the bottom. So less than basically means I'll just shade down here. Whichever shading system you like, I can just use concentric lines to indicate that tensor. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that any point in this shaded region will satisfy this inequality. Okay, any point on this line or to the left or above this slanted line will not satisfy this inequality. So this right here is your solution region. Solution region. Okay. All right. Now let's try another example. Example 2. We're going to graph 2x minus 5y is less than or equal to 15. Okay? Now this equation is in standard form. I like to convert it into slope-intercept form because that's a form that's easier to graph. So to make that happen, I just need to get y by itself, okay? Because your slope-intercept form again is basically y equals mx plus b. If I can get y by itself, the coefficient. All right, so let's see. So I need to get y by itself. So let's do that. In order to get y by itself, there are going to be 2 steps I have to take. So basically, I need to move the 2x to the right and then get rid of negative 5. All right. So how do I move the 2x to the right? I subtract 2x from both sides. Okay, and then that gives me negative 5y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 15. And divide to get y by itself. I'll divide everything by negative 5. So divide by negative 5, and negative 5. Okay. So with that in mind, see, I'll cancel this out. Minus 5 and minus 5 is just y. You cancel out to 1. And notice anytime you divide by a negative, the inequality flips around. Okay, so instead of less than or equal to, now becomes greater than or equal to. Minus over minus is plus, you just slash and dash. 2 over 5x minus over plus is minus. Remember, whenever you're dividing, if the signs are the same, it's a plus. If the signs are different, it's a minus, okay? So 15 over 5 is 3. Yeah. Now I have it in slope-intercept form. It's easy to determine my slope and my y-intercept. So my slope, which is m, is basically 2 over 5. What does this mean? This is my rise, and that's my run. Okay? Rise over run. Let's see. The y-intercept. which is where we start when we're graphing. The y-intercept is -3, which means that we're going to go down 3 on the y-axis, okay? And then what does less than or equal to mean? What does less than or equal to mean? This basically means shade down, and it's going, wait a minute, it's not less than or equal to, it's actually greater than. I'm using this inequality here. So, all right, so that's, we're gonna shade down, and since there's a line under the inequality, oh wait a minute. So the inequality is greater than, this is the one we're looking at. Okay, I was looking at that. Okay, so we're looking at this inequality right here. Since it's greater than or equal to, we're gonna shade up, and since there's a line here, it's going to be solid. So a solid line shading up. All right. So let's use all this information, this piece of information I've generated here from this equation to draw my graph. All right. So we're starting at negative y. So let's draw my coordinate system like that. All right. So this is my y-axis up here. This is my y-axis, and this is my x-axis. Okay. All right. So let's start from -3. -3 is here. 1, 2, 3. -3. So that goes our first point. So we need the next point that's going to be collinear. The next point to define our line. So we're going to go up 2 because it rises 2 and run 5. So go up 1, 2, and run 1, and run. Let me use a different color so you see what I'm doing. So I am rising 1, 2, and I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why did I do that? Because that's my slope, right? That's my slope right here, 2/5. So there goes the second point. That defines my line. All right, so now I'm going to draw a solid line through the 2 points, like that. And then we're going to apply the shading, okay? So there you have it. Now let me put arrows at the ends, tail ends of this this line. So there you have it. Since it's greater than, this is like your roof, so you're going to shade the top of the roof, all right? So go like that, shade up, concentric lines like that. Okay. So what on earth does this solution mean? What does this whole thing we just generated mean? Well, this basically means that um, any points above this line or on the line will satisfy this inequality right here. So this here, right here, this region, including this line, which is solid, is your solution region. Okay, solution region. All right, let's take a look at 2 more examples. We're going to be looking at extreme cases now. Number 3, what if we have the situation x is less than or equal to -3? All right. So in this case, we have an extreme case. This is an extreme line. Whenever you have just the x, it's a vertical line going up and down. It has no slope because the slope is undefined, all right? So in this case, we just focus on what the inequality means. So since it's less than, we're going to follow the direction of the arrow. So we're going to shade left. Why is it left? Because on the x-axis, less than goes to the left, and greater than goes to the right. Okay? Let me illustrate what I'm saying to you real quick. So if you have your x coordinate system, how do you put the numbers? The numbers increase from left to right, right? 1, 2, and then from when you go into the left, -1, -2, right? So less than means you're going to go to the left. It's like getting smaller, all right? And greater than is the other direction. So anytime you have x by itself, less than means left, because for a vertical line, you don't have any top or bottom to shade, okay? And then this line on the bottom means it's going to be solid. So we're going to draw a solid vertical line through -3 and shade the left side, right? So let's make a coordinate system. There goes my y coordinate, there goes my x coordinate. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, -3. So we're now going to draw a solid vertical line through that point, okay? So like this. All right, now where do I point? My arrow points to the left, so that means I'm going to shade to the left. You notice this line doesn't have a top or a bottom, right? So you just follow the direction of the arrow whenever you have a scenario like this. So I'm going to shade the left side because this is less than. All right, then. All right, so this is your solution region, solution region. And what this basically means is that any point on this in this region right here or on this line will satisfy this inequality right here. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to the last example, number 4. What if we have the inequality y is greater than 4? Okay. In this case, you can rewrite this as y is greater than 0 x plus 4. Okay. So if you look at this equation, it's already in the slope intercept form, right? So for a case like this, I need m and b, right? So how do I know what m and b is? Let me just write my slope intercept form equation here. So y equals mx plus b. So let's do this. So m, the slope is 0, 0. We have a 1 under there, just to express it as fraction to know what my run is. So this basically is my slope, and it tells me the rise. This is the rise, and this is the run. Remember, slope is rise over run. Okay. All right, and then your y-intercept b, this is your y-intercept, is basically 4. So that's where you start on y-axis. Since we have a greater than inequality, what does this mean? Greater than means you're going to shade up the top of the roof. And since there's no line under here, it's going to be a broken line, which means that the line is excluded from the solution set of this linear inequality. All right, let's go ahead and use this information which is generated from the graph to generate our curve, our graph, not curve, line. So to generate our graph, let's see, label the coordinate system. This is y, this is x. It's going to be a horizontal line. So we're going to go 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our y-intercept, and then just draw your oops. What did I just do? It's a broken line, right? So you draw your broken line through there. But exclude that line from the solution set, right? Because it's strictly less than. So you draw your line, and since it's greater, that means you're going to go on the top of the roof. This is like a flat roof, okay? So greater than means you're going to shade the top of the roof right here. Bam, 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 bam. All right. So what on earth does this mean? Well, this shading system we just did shows you that this is a solution region, and it means that any point you pick, any point here, see any point you pick here, all up in this upper space, as long as it's not on the line, will satisfy this inequality. The y component will satisfy this inequality, but because it is guaranteed to be greater than 4. All right. So thanks for paying attention to this presentation. You can please subscribe to my channel and share your this video with your friends if you liked it. And also if you liked it, you can just click down here, click like, or I'll appreciate it. If you didn't like it, just send me an email or make a comment, and I'll be glad to address your concerns. Collection of my videos can be found on mathgotserved.com. And have a wonderful day, and thanks again.